Hi my friends, it's still late spring. It's the 17th of November 2020 and I just wanted to show you how I plant my papaya along this edge. But these three here, they're going to go now. See these, remember I was saying before, these are the same seeds, but I don't have a good seed stock. There's too many mongrels crossed in with my seed, and these are a red papaya again, but they're round, and I don't want the rounds. They're not the nice long ones that I want. So I'm going to chop these out now. I've still got a lot of papayas in pots out the back there that don't have any space at the moment, and I'm hoping they'll be a better papaya and a nice long papaya. So yeah, and I bought this sugarcane mulch, and I'll be putting these blocks in here. I'll just be leveling that out and dropping these solid blocks. I won't even be loosening it, I'll just be leaving it as a solid block. And yeah, I'll cut these papayas out, level that edge a bit, which is all just, all that raised edges, mulched down sugarcane mulch over many years. But I'll stick new blocks of sugarcane mulch down on it and plant my pots. But yeah, you might find it interesting. You'll be able to compare this with how things go further into summer. So as you can see, I've got my car out of the way. You're going to hear the road traffic a lot more. So hopefully that doesn't drown me out too much. But yeah, I just want to show you how I plant here along this edge. And I've done this, I've done this 3 times already over a fair few years actually. And on a few occasions it's worked quite well. I had my very best papaya actually growing on that edge right about there. You'll see in earlier videos I just had a fantastic papaya, just really heavy bearing, lots of big torpedo fruit, and I got 2 really big crops off it. And then it just clapped out. I don't fully know why, it just shit itself for some reason. And since then I've tried twice to plant that edge, and both times I get the wrong kind of papaya. Because as I've told you before, I've got mongrels crossed in with my seed, and I just keep getting these round reds, these round mongrel reds that I don't want. I want the big heavy bearing papaya with the big long torpedo fruit. So anyway, yeah, these 8 plants in pots, and I've got maybe got about 60 or more at the back too, and they're all seeds from the very best papayas, the very best papaya fruit on that very best papaya tree that I had growing right there. So fingers crossed I've got a good chance that some of these are going to be the same. And I've decided I'm going to plant 8 in here, which is pretty ambitious. It's pretty tight for 8, but these plants are almost a year old. Some would say, like they're quite pop bound and quite stunted for a year old, aren't they? But they should take off actually. That after about a month or so sitting in this garden, they should take off and get a lot more size about them. The trunks will get a lot thicker, and being 10 months old, they should start flowering and fruiting pretty soon too. So fairly early in the piece I should see what kind of fruit I'm going to get, and if there's any mongrels I'll cut them out. And yeah, I'll just see how it goes. Like ideally I'd only want about 3 big papaya along that edge there, as you can see with the sugarcane mulch there. You only want about 3 ideally, but see how it goes. You know, maybe even they'll all survive, just depends on how it goes. 3 will probably dominate. Eventually 3 will become the queens and be the tallest, and the others will grow underneath and not as well in the shade. But yeah, I'll just see how it goes. So yeah, you know, I'm just going to be... This is a solid block. It's pretty much solid. I haven't fluffed it up at all. It's just straight out of the bag. A solid block of compressed sugarcane mulch. And I'll just be sitting these pots on top of it, just like that. Just take them out of the pot, sit them on top, and then I'll be putting loose sugarcane mulch all around them. It takes about a month, I think, and then they you know, things grow really well in those blocks of sugarcane mulch. So even though these papaya are quite stunted and root bound, they should get over it, and they should do quite all right. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be whacking these things in a minute, and I guess maybe I'll just give you a quick look at my custard apple again. Give you a quick look at my custard apple and all the flowers on it. It's not so windy. The other day I was trying to show you and it was windy, and you couldn't. The leaves are bouncing, the branches are bouncing around. But see, this is remember I trimmed all the leaves off, the sick winter leaves, and all the new leaves, nice new healthy leaves have come back, and there's flowers everywhere. There's just stacks of flowers on this tree now. It's great. And they say it helps to pollinate them by hand, but as I was telling you before, see, look at that, not even any leaves there, just flowers on that branch. Now, yeah, as I was telling you before, I just use a bag of insects. I just use some fruit and veggie scraps. I got this idea from a Facebook post, and it works. It's quite good. I just leave a bag of fruit and veggie scraps around for a little while, and I'll show you the insects. Maybe you'll be able to see them. Look at them all these little small mites and midges, and they do the cross-pollinating for me. And it works, and it's just like no mess, no fuss, no mucking around. And you know, not all these flowers are going to set. I assume, but you know, fingers crossed. Last year I got 4 fruit, which, you know, I was happy with. The year before I got 1 fruit. Last year 4. It's sort of just coming into fruiting, so. But you know, I'm hoping I'll get more than 4 this year. Let's see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Maybe even in summer, my summer update, you'll see some of the fruit setting. And also I may as well give you a quick look at this again too, my dragon fruit. It's just thrown out a whole heap of flowers. Oh yeah, there's lots of flowers there. There's at least 15 flowers up there, little flower buds, and some of them will be opening very soon. I think, I'm starting to get to understand it now, and I think the biggest, well, that one there actually, that's going to be opening by itself perhaps. That's going to be opening very soon. So I've just got to watch those. One of these evenings I'll see them opening. And I'll do the same with them too. And I found that worked really well last year. It just greatly increased my dragon fruit harvest, is the insects again. So yeah, normally I've got my car parked right up here, and the bonnet is sort of here, just underneath them. So I just set a bag of rotting fruit and veggies on the bonnet and let the insects do the cross-pollinating for me. And yep, last year it worked a treat. It worked really well with these dragon fruit. I had 4 harvests last year of 10 or 12 fruit, which is pretty good just for what it is, you know. It's not that big. You know, I was pleased with it. And I should just mention, this plant is looking much healthier this time round. Now that I hit it with the permethrin, I gave it a good hit with permethrin, and it's put out a lot more healthy growth. And yeah, I really do think this plant was infested with fruit spotting bug, and it was a breeding spot for them even, because it's the sunniest and driest and warmest spot in the whole yard just there, and it's nice and bushy and the right food, and I think it's just a perfect place for fruit spotting bug to breed. And the dragon fruit is so tough, you know, not even a fruit spotting bug infestation could kill them. But yeah, but you know, it really did knock them around. You can see all the bites. See, that's some of the older growth. There's just something like was just nipping into them so much. And yeah, since I've sprayed that permethrin, there's all this nice new growth. It's just nice and clean, nothing biting them. So, you know, whatever it was, that permethrin just really did the job, you know. I accidentally used a double dose, and it was a nice dry time too. We didn't have any rain for a month after I sprayed, so I really got a good kill of whatever it was, assuming it's the fruit spotting bug. Okay, oh yeah, so one other thing I'd just like to show you is this umbrella tree here. I've always sort of kept this, and I cut branches off it regularly because it does want to get too big. It's too big now, and it's going to be shading out those papayas a little bit. Even now, it takes some of the western sun away from them. Oh, getting out of breath already. I've said too many words. But I often cut a 4, 5, 6 foot branch off that and put it in the house. I stick it in a bucket of water, almost like a gigantic flower if you put it in a vase. Yeah, I cut a big branch off, put it in a bucket of water, and it just looks beautiful, eh? It's just really nice to have in the living room. It's a nice big bushy beautiful plant in the living room, and it lasts about a month in a bucket of water. You know, especially the first few weeks it looks just great, and then it starts sort of dying off a bit, but usually after a month and a half or so it starts getting really sad, so then I just throw it out. So yeah, this thing needs cutting back. It's actually, I haven't done this for a while, but I'm feeling a bit strong today, so hopefully, you know, I'll get a ladder and I'll cut one branch off and drag that into the house, and yeah, just keep doing it. As soon as it dies, I'll put another branch in and another, and I'll just trim that right back, because I think there's 3 big branches there at the moment, 3 big stems. So yeah, over the next 2 or 3 months, that should be, hopefully that'll be all trimmed back and it'll let in a lot more light, and these papayas will be growing well. So yeah, let's see. So okay, I'll sign off now. Oh, what's another thing? So many updates. I was going to say, yeah, this nasturtiums, it's because it's so hot now, it is going back fast. It doesn't like the heat. It's reached that stage where it's too hot for them. But I'll still keep them going as long as I can, because the flowers especially are delicious in a salad. They're really nice. They're sort of you can eat them by themselves even. Just try them sometimes. Just pick a flower and eat it, and it's sort of got a sweet, peppery taste about them. Yeah, they're really yum. And the leaves are good in salads too. So while it's still going, I'll just keep this garden as it is. But when it dies off, I'll replant this garden too. I need to put some more mulch in. It's really dropped down the mulch level. Transplant the celery, because that stuff just lives forever. So I'll just pull that out and transplant it. Pull it out, fill it up with mulch and plant them back in again with other plants. So maybe you'll see that in the summer update. Okay, well I'll just switch off now, and yeah, I'll show you just a quick bit of how I chop that branch back. Well, I'll cut it out, the stem, show it to you, and then I'll show you how it looks in the house too. And also I'll show you how I plant these, how these papaya look when they're planted on that edge. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, I've just cut that one branch out. Yep, houseplant in a bucket of water. Looks great. Break those last few branches off. Those few bottom branches. Oh. See, and I've thinned that a little bit. You can see it looks a little bit different. And in another month I'll take another leading stem out, and then another, and just keep going until I take it right back down short again, so it'll let in a lot more light for these papayas. Yeah, and I'll give you a look how that looks in the house too. Okay, my friends, just to make it even more clear for you, I'm just taking them out of the pots. That's going to be the spacing. That one's got an angle on it, so I can like lean that over a fair bit, and it'll be okay. And that one too, even I can put a lean on it. Just give a bit more sunlight in the long run. And so, yeah, that's about how the spacing is going to be. Just basically sitting on a solid block of sugarcane. It's quite solid sugarcane mulch. And I have used again just a tiny bit of these water crystals. There's about a teaspoon spread out under each root ball. That should just help them hang on a lot better. And oh yeah, there's these two, just bare rooted. They were growing in it before, but I know they were the good strain too, so I put them aside and just sprinkled a bit of water crystals around the roots. Yep, and I'll just put the light fluffy mulch on top of that. I don't know how they'll go though. They might survive. Just give them a try. They might die too. But yeah, just give those two a try, that little one and that slightly bigger one. Oh yeah, and actually that one, that's one that I left. It was a seed from the really good plant that just grew in that old, that's an old stump from an umbrella tree. So yeah, it wasn't even at ground level, it was growing in the stump. So the mulch isn't sitting all that high above that stem. So, you know, that might pull through too. Yeah, that one might pull through too. So yeah, that's how they are. And now I'll just cut this bale open and spread it out. Spread it out on top of these, and then I'll give them a water. It is going to rain very soon, or it could do. Looks a lot like we might get a bit of showers tonight. There has been some bigger storms further to the southwest, but it's almost one of those days where the rain could miss us here at Redcliffe too. We might get a bit of a sprinkle and not much. It's possible, or maybe we'll get hardly a thing. There is a couple of spots falling right now, but yeah, there's been a lot of storms out the back there to the southwest, but they might just even miss Redcliffe tonight, perhaps. Okay, my friends, just giving you a look at how they look, showing you how they look now they've gone in. See, now of course if you're doing this in a more open area, you'd have to stake the plants, you know, because the winds, even when they get big, they could be prone to just being blown over, I think. But this area is quite protected really, so they hardly need anything. But still, I might use a bit of string like I have just there, or a bit of twine, just to position them a little bit better, spread them out a little bit better. It's like those two are sort of, yeah, I would kind of like to space them out a little bit better. They're sort of, like that one in particular, is sort of leaning too far over to the left. I like to pull it over a bit with a bit of twine. I'll do that. So yeah, a couple of days have passed since I planted these. It was too dark to show you when I finished, so I'll just give you a look now. And you know, as you know, that the car comes in here, so it's just a really, see, I park the car here, so it's just a really tight little spot. But it's east-west facing, or east-west aligned, like that way's the east and that way's the west. So at this time of year, it's mid-November. The longest day of the year is coming on the 21st of December, so it gets really good bright sun in there, and it will for the next, you know, well, 2 months at least, you know. But these things, like that, then the sun will start leaning back to the north again. But you know, it'll be 3 months. These leaves will get plenty of sun, and as they grow, because they've almost poked over the fence already, so yeah, as soon as they poke over the fence, then they've just got full sun, well, a good lot of sun every day, quite a few good hours of sun every day. And even in the dead of winter, once they get over the fence, they'll be getting a lot of sun. As the winter sun, it just leans very strongly, leans quite a bit to the north there, and just comes in on an angle, but it'll get the leaves, give them lots of sun, and they'll be happy. And yeah, I only used half a bale here just to top them up, so they're sitting on that solid blocks. It's 4 solid blocks they're sitting on, and then half a bale of loose stuff on top just to cover them over. Oh yeah, and I added just a little bit of chicken manure pellets. I don't know if you can see that there. I can't, maybe you can. Yeah, there. Just a little bit of chicken manure pellets, and I'll add some more soon. Those two transplants are looking okay. They've come good. Even that little one, and that one sort of, it's put out, it's got moisture back in the top, very top leaves, so it's, you know, it might pull through. And all the others are looking good. yeah, like it's too tight. But we'll just see, you know, I might chop some out and I might not too, it just depends on how it goes. But as I was saying at the beginning, probably like eventually about 3 or 4 are going to become the dominant plants. They'll get up higher than the others, and the others will get a bit too shaded underneath. But you never know, they still might bear a bit of fruit. So we'll just see what happens. Yeah, and my very best papaya was growing right there actually. And that's what all these are from. These are all seeds from that, my very best papaya. So let's hope. And yeah, I put the other half of the bale that I had left over, put it around these 3 papayas here. Because they needed it. They needed it really, so then I gave them a bit of chicken manure as well. So they'll like that. They'll respond. That one's responding already just in 2 days. You can see an immediate improvement in the leaf colour, and the leaves are just coming out bigger. Well, that one too, even actually. Oh yeah, even that one. A lot of the leaves were broken off by a flying fox for that one just recently, but I think hopefully they won't look back now. The next time you see these in summer, hopefully they'll be looking quite good. Oh yeah, the little banana sucker, and that dead banana is coming up all right. So I don't know. I'll just keep watching it. Hopefully I'll get a bit of size out of it before I cut it out. I'll cut that out, dip it in permethrin and try to save it. Dip it in permethrin insecticide to kill that banana weevil borer. And hopefully save it. Oh yeah, my jackfruit. It's looking sad. It's looking like it might clap out. I noticed it wasn't getting enough sun along that edge now because the sun's got up so high. And the pot is waterlocked. So I've moved it here into a sunnier spot, and I won't give it any water and just hope it comes back. It's got a healthy lower little shoot there, but the top shoots it's dropped nearly all its leaves, and it'll probably drop that last leaf too. So yeah, I hope I don't lose it. And I moved the mammy there too, the mammy sapote. Moved it into some more direct sun, and yeah, maybe you can see a better look here. All the flowers on this custard apple. It's been quite good. It's put out a lot of flowers. So hopefully the insects are going to do its thing and pollinate it for me. Yeah, got 4 fruit last year. Let's see if I can get a few more this year. Let's have a water on up the top there, just hit him with the hose. Gotta watch this camera though, I don't want to get any water on it. I just noticed I got one drop of water in a bad spot just then actually, somehow. Really got to watch that. There's just one drop to kill it. Yeah, once in Thailand a monk splashed a bit of water on me while I was filming. And one drop. Well, this was with this same model of camera but a different one. And one drop fell on the microphone. And that was it. The microphone was never the same again. It would always make this crackling sound. So, no, it's quite a good camera I think for its age, but it doesn't want any water on it. Yeah, I'll just wet that some more. Being sugarcane mulch, it soaks up a lot of water. And it takes a fair bit to get it wet the first few times. And then it'll stay wet. Once it is wet, it stays wet for a while, but yeah, it takes a while. Yeah, I'm looking forward to showing you how these go in the next few months. Fingers crossed they'll do quite well. Because I'm happy they've got a good lot of length in the stem actually, which is perfect for this spot. So they can quickly get up over that fence. And get a lot more sunlight. Yeah, and this works well, hey. This works well, but again, yeah, if you're in an open area and more prone to the elements, more prone to the winds and that, you'd have to stake them up. Otherwise the wind will just blow them over on you, but apart from that, they love it, they grow really well. Whoops, just hope none of that falls down. That bit did. Okay. Oh, I nearly forgot one last thing. Just wanted to show you how those dragon fruit flowers are progressing. And that one there, that's going to open any moment. It might even open tonight. They open in the night. Tonight or tomorrow I reckon that's going to open. But the others are just a little bit behind it. That one could open tonight. No, not tonight I don't think. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. But they're all just so close now. They're all just a few days away from opening up. So I'll keep an eye on that. Get ready, put a bag of insects near it, same as I've done with this custard apple, and let them cross-pollinate it for me. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I've shown you just about everything now. You'll have to wait for the summer update to get more now. Okay, one last look at how it looks when the car's parked here. See, I don't go out much, I only go shopping about once a fortnight. So, you know, the car's pretty much here all the time. There's only like a few hours every 2 weeks or so that I go out. So yeah, it's a very tight little spot. And yeah, it's amazing what you can fit in a tight little spot when you think about it. You know, like once they grow up tall, they even help to shade the car. And I can like even stand on the car to pick the fruit. It's you know, it's potentially a good little spot, even though it's just so tight. Yeah, I'll show you around the side here. See if I can sort of just slide through here, around the back of the car, and there's the edge. See, just a tight little edge. It's not even, it's not even really a metre, is it? It's barely, it's pushing a metre wide. You know, between the car and the fence. And yet that can potentially be a very productive spot. You know, I'm hoping I should have about 3 good heavy bearing papaya there. And if you know, well, if the dominant, well, if they all turn out to be those round ones, heaven forbid, I'll just have to settle for it this time. I'll let them stay. But I really want those long torpedoes. As you know, I want those long reds, heavy bearing trees. That's what I want. I haven't got much space, so make every square metre count. Get heavy bearing, long torpedo papayas. And one good thing about these seeds, even though it's got the mongrel in it, but I have never had one male yet. Not one. Everyone's been female. Every plant's been female with just enough male crossed into it. Well, a hermaphrodite, really. Each plant is a female with just a tiny bit of male in its genetics. Just enough male so it can self-fertilise itself, or self-pollinate itself. So everyone, yeah, self-pollinating red papayas. So that's quite amazing. But too many of them are the round reds. And I don't get enough of what I really want. The dwarf Thai, heavy bearing long reds, long torpedo shaped. Yes, I hope that helps you to just sort of think about your area, wherever you're living, if you've got tight little spots. It's amazing what you can do when you think about it. What you can do in the smallest of spaces. Because even this, really, my garden here, it gets hardly any light. It gets so little sunlight, and yet I get a lot of greens out of it. It's a very productive little spot. So, you know, in a midsummer now, you know, there's only a few hours get through there. What would it be? Only like 3 hours? 3 hours of sun. And yet, you know, I get a lot of veggies. And that dragon fruit, well, that's the sunniest, warmest spot of the whole yard. Really, particularly in like winter, the sun just blasts in there. And then it gets a lot of the hot westerly sun. The westerly sun gets quite hot here. And yeah, the custard apple, well, it doesn't do too bad here for light, but still, you know, well, the taller it gets, the better it's going to do. Yeah, see all those flowers? Oh, Oh, fingers crossed. I hope I get, you know, well, the tree can only handle so many, can it? It's still a small tree. It'd be nice to have 8. That'd be pretty amazing, wouldn't it? 8 custard apples on this little tree. Really needs to go into the ground soon. Give it a real chance now to get big. Okay, my friends, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the left hand side of your screen, on the right hand side of your screen. Sub me. Like the video if you can, that'd be nice. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so that's how it looks. That's how one of the umbrella branches looks. That I cut off and just stick it in a bucket of water. And it's not bad, I reckon. I quite like it. And it'll last 2 weeks to a month or longer, sitting in a bucket of water. It's the nicest thing in this room. It's a pretty messy room. Yep, just sit it in a bucket of water. And I've got it tied up. There's a bit of rope there that's tied it up. And yeah, I think it even probably improves the air in here, improves the air quality a little bit. It stays quite vibrant for at least a couple of weeks. So yeah, in a month's time I'll chuck that out, and then I'll cut another branch off. I've still got 2 more branches, or 2 more main stems there. And as time goes on, the new stems will be thicker and bushier too. So that they'll look even better than this one. Yeah, okay my friends. Thanks for watching.